in green. We have week 2 of the NFL preseason starting tonight. We have 2 games tonight, Tennessee at Atlanta. Then we do have the Chiefs at the Seahawks. We learned a little bit in week 1. There was a lot of question marks in regards to if the over-under is going to hit, and every single game went over. So, you know me. I know how much Ethan also likes unders as well. It is a scary situation because I might have just way too much money blindly taking every single game to go under. I don't know if I'm going to quite do that yet because this is glorified scrimmages in the preseason. But I'm excited to watch a couple games. Don't know how much I'll tune into tonight's games. But I do know I'll probably tune into a little bit tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the Lions and the Dolphins tomorrow because that preseason did get a little or the joint practices got a little heated from Twitter. So I'm looking forward to that game. But Ethan, welcome. Have you gotten a chance to look at tonight's games? I know we only got 2, and I know I kind of honestly wore myself out last week with preseason. So don't know how much I'm going to get involved this week. But have you gotten a chance to look at tonight's games and get any feels?
I'm pretty much the same boat as you. Just looking for unders this week that I think will be in play. But yeah, like you said, kind of wore myself out. I only had 2 preseason bets last week. Went 1-1, and I feel like it's very beatable if you put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. But I feel like no matter how much time and effort I put in, I just can't be confident enough to really make it worth my time. So I don't know. I'm kind of just taking a steady approach. I probably won't bet either game tonight. Might look at an under tomorrow that I'm looking at that we'll talk about. But yeah, I think I mentioned last week I got just tore up in preseason last year trying to be sharp and get ahead of everything. And I think I went like 1-6. So, and I was betting more last year than I am so far this year. So it just wasn't a good situation. So yeah, kind of proceeding with caution, just seeing if I can pick a spot or 2 to bet per week and really just waiting for regular season.
Yeah, that's not a bad move. It's probably the smart move for sure. Because again, these are practices; they're just televised, and you can bet on them. So, yeah, we're counting on the days to the regular season kicks off here. We're a couple weeks out from NFL. We do have college football starting next Saturday, so we are 8 days away from week 0 of college football. So we're almost there to get into games that actually matter. But yeah, I'll just I said that stat. I think it was 14-2. So far for the 17 games. Of course, I had the under in the Lions game, which they voided because of that game ending early. But 14-2 through 17 games, the over has hit. Now we do have a bunch of lines out there where I think there's 5 or 6 games with the total in the 40s, and that's what you're going to see. When Vegas, and betting the over is the popular play, the public play. And when Vegas gets crushed 14-2, they got to make some changes. So we do have quite a bit of higher totals this week as opposed to week 1 of the preseason. But I guess there's a couple of thought processes behind that. An extra or more practice now because we're week 2, and a lot of these young guys have finally gotten some game experiences, getting used to the speed of things, and you could say that would help the over hit more, but I think the defenses are going to improve as well, or at least I'm banking on it. I think the game's going to slow down for these young guys, and hopefully we see a lot more games go under, or at least closer to the total. In week 1, we had games soaring over at halftime early in the third quarter. So I think if you're going to bet the unders, I think you have much more of a sweat this week as opposed to just being dead right away. I don't know which was worse, to have a bet dead right away or lose at the last second, but at least you're going to be in it for a little bit with these with the week 2 of the preseason, at least from what I think. So blindly, I'm debating, throwing a couple bucks on all 16 games going under. Again, I don't recommend having 16 units on this because that is absolutely insane, having 16 units on August 15th in week 2 of the NFL preseason. But I do think there is going to be some value on the unders here in the NFL. So I am seeing money tonight on the under for Tennessee Atlanta. That totals at 37.5. I believe Cam Ward is going to start once again. His passing line is only like at 50 something yards. So I think he's just going to have one or two series. He didn't have the greatest first week, so maybe they put him in a little bit more, but that passing line makes me think that it's just going to be one or two series for Cam Ward. So I like the under in that game. It's probably my favorite under. Then we do have Kansas City and Seattle tonight. No Patty Mahomes. Seattle is that 4.5-point favorite. I think Jalen Milroe is getting to start for Seattle, or maybe it's going back to lock. But again, haven't tuned too much into as much as week one into who's starting, who's not, because in week 2 of the preseason, you're not going to see really any starting quarterbacks play, at least the old guys. So I'm liking both unders, and I think I might, just for the hell of it being on a Friday night, I think I might put a couple bucks on the under of both games. And who's going to win in each game, who's going to cover, I don't know. And for that reason, I'm probably not going to get involved on spreads or money lines tonight. Do you have any predictions? I know me and you both haven't looked too much into these lines, but do you have any idea as to what you're leaning for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much in lockstep. I've been thinking about all day, should I just bet every single under in all 16 games? Because can't really guarantee anything in sports betting, but I guarantee you're not going to lose money if you bet every single under in week 2 of the preseason. Now, I don't think you're going to win 16 units, but, maybe a unit and a half come out ahead. I don't think I'm going to dabble in it, but yeah, I do look at both unders tonight. I really have no feel on the side for Tennessee and Atlanta. Obviously, Atlanta was in a weird situation last week with fourth quarter being just ended. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys that didn't get to play, haven't really played that much in the preseason. So yeah, I just don't really know what's going on with Atlanta. Only way I could look is under in that game. And then I guess the only thing I'll say on the side for Chiefs Seahawks opened plus 2.5. They're minus 4.5 now. They were just minus 3 earlier today. You missed the number if you like the Seahawks. So I think the only way you could bet that at this point is Kansas City. I have no want to back Kansas City at the plus 4.5, but yeah, there's no way you could bet the Seahawks. I mean, you're just hoping to get lucky at that point. So I'm with you. Both unders tonight is the only way I would really look. I'm actually seeing reverse line movement on that Tennessee Falcons game. I'm seeing over money coming in, but the line has moved from 38.5 down to 37.5. So, that's usually a good indicator that, the under's probably the play there. As far as the second game, I think the number's actually gone up a little bit from the open 37.5 up to 39, but I think that's still a fairly good under in that one as well. So I guess I'll concur with you. I think Titans Falcons under what I said the number was 38.5, 37.5. Probably be my favorite play of the night.
I love it. So both games under is what me and Ethan are rocking tonight. Let me know what you guys want. Asker, what is up, brother? He wants to touch on game in his dating life. Pretty quick summary. We won one. That's pretty good. Does that mean you're in a relationship, Asker? Congratulations, brother. Hopefully that is a consensual relationship with I don't even know how old you are, Asker, but I wish you the best, my man. Oh wow. And then we do have, like I said, full slate tomorrow. Is there any games sticking out tomorrow? I touched on the Lions and the Dolphins just because of, I guess, a little heated joint practice. I'm seeing Miami's now -1. I think they're -3.5. So again, if you liked Detroit, you may have missed the window. I don't know how serious Detroit's going to take this game. They are. This is their third preseason game, and they did just blow the doors off of Miami in that joint practices with their starters playing. So with the backups in, maybe Campbell will get them fired up. But again, it's hard to tell with the preseason. And then the other preseason news that I saw, Shedeur Sanders, I know a popular player in the league, Shedeur Sanders will not be playing against the Eagles with an oblique injury. I'm going either two ways on that one. I can see the headline, the Browns getting smoked with Gabriel and Huntley, and then they're saying that, Shedeur is going to be the savior, or I'm just seeing what I think is going to happen. And the Browns are just going to lose just because it's the Browns. But I don't know. Like if the Browns win, I think that might be a little interesting storyline. But again, the big storyline I'm seeing Browns get blown out. No Shadur. Is Shadur the answer? So that's my lean tomorrow is potentially taking the Browns, and I hate it. Or sorry, the Eagles, and I hate it. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Do you have anything you like tomorrow, or any storylines you want to touch on tomorrow, or the rest of this weekend's preseason games? We do have a Monday preseason game.
Yeah.
Standalone Bengals Commanders. Do you have anything you want to touch on this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I really just, like I said, kind of would just lean under in every game. But actually, the under that I probably like the most is that Browns Eagles game. And I mean, obviously, everyone who watched any preseason last week had eyes on Shadur Sanders. Saw him play really well. The Browns put up 30 points. Now, obviously, like you mentioned, no Shadur this week, but still 30-10 game. You look at the Eagles, that was one of the higher scoring games of the preseason, 34-27. Everyone's just going to look, see that offensively, these teams combined for 64 points, allowed 37 defensively, over sitting at 37.5. They're going to smash it. So even without Shadur, I think the over is going to be the play for the public. So that's probably my favorite under, especially for, the Eagles who come off a Super Bowl win. I know it's preseason, but they allowed 27 points. Their offense looked great. So I think now the focus this week is let's get that defense in check. So I think they're going to play really defensive against Cleveland. Cleveland's still making offensive adjustments. I know they just signed Isaiah Bond today or yesterday. Judkins coming back now that his charge was dropped. So they're still getting new pieces worked into that offense. Obviously, it takes a while to gel. Huntley is still, 2 weeks or a week into his stint there. So, yeah, it's going to take the Browns a while to get all these moving pieces to gel together. It's not going to be tomorrow. So I like Browns Eagles under quite a bit. Potentially Browns team total under would be a look depending on what that's at. But yeah, as far as sides go, I don't really know. I mean, the Chargers could be that team that just dominate every preseason game, but they're 6.5 right now, favorite. That would be a game I would maybe look to avoid the under on, or potentially take a Rams team total under rather than full game, because Trey Lance obviously is a great player. I mean, or a good player. Drafted high for a reason, and he's showing why he was that high of a draft pick, given against weaker second, third stringers in the preseason here. But he has a lot to prove to try to work his way back up to a starting role in the NFL. So I do fear a little bit if you take the under with the Chargers, just because I think that's kind of an outlier. Yeah, that's really, I haven't dug in too much into tomorrow's slate. Kind of just looked for my favorite under spot, found it with the Browns Eagles. And then, yeah, like I said, kind of just weary on the Chargers if you're looking for the under there.
Yeah. Again, I want to get involved because it's football, but I don't know how involved I'll get in week 2 of the preseason. Like I said, we are close to football starting back up. But what I'm probably going to do is a couple bucks every single game. I'll probably be taking the under just to see what the record comes to. Again, stat for you guys: 14-2 for week 1 of the NFL preseason went over. So 14 out of the 16 games hit the over, a lot of them easily. So I think there's going to be value on the unders. We're getting over juice lines. So that's going to be my best advice for week 2 preseason. Every single game on the under. Again, if you want to pick and choose, feel free, but I would just suggest taking more unders than overs if you are going to be betting preseason week 2. Anything else you want to touch on before we close out here? We did just post our AFC video predictions, our AFC division predictions, conference predictions, as well as the NFC conference predictions. We went through every single division, predicted who's going to win, and then our 7 playoffs teams from each side. If you do want to check that prediction video out, those prediction videos out, those are located over on our YouTube, Better in Green. Do you have anything else you want to touch on? We will be starting our college football show here. We'll probably get maybe some conference predictions, maybe some future bets, but then we're going to kick right into it for week 0, which is, again, next Saturday, week 0 of college football. But anything, sorry, I've said that like 3 times. Anything you want to touch on before we close out here?
Yeah, I guess just one game that I just want to look more into it and get closer to. But I think Buffalo Chicago could be an interesting game on Sunday night. That's your Sunday night football game, if you will. The Bears were my one winner. I luckily waited until they got to +1.5, like 10 minutes before kickoff, and I took it. They were like -3 up until then. So luckily cashed there with a tie. But I don't know. It's just Trubisky coming back to Chicago is an interesting storyline. Both backup quarterback rooms are fairly decent, so interested there. Have not looked at the Monday night game at all. Was thinking maybe we could start doing Monday lives again with this first game, first Monday night football game. It's hard to even call it that, but so potentially stay tuned for a Monday night live, and then yeah, I guess just to promote a little bit about the college football, I was just going back and I've just been rewatching a lot of our shows. Forgot my record last year on college football was something crazy. So hopefully we can repeat that. Hopefully I can actually bet what I give out on the show more because, like we talked about so much, I was a losing college football bettor last year, but on that show I was like 65%. So don't know how that works, but yeah, looking forward to getting back into college, and yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, it's good talking football again. Michigan sanctions did come in, absolutely nothing. So few. I didn't ever think that wins were going to be vacated or more was going to be exiled. But you never know with the NCAA. So I see that they're appealing it probably just for a lower amount of money they're going to have to pay, but money's not going to be a big issue for Michigan. So pretty big win in that book. Harbaugh is pretty much banned for life in college football, but he was never coming back anyways. So Michigan, if you whatever you want, if they cheated, if they didn't cheat, the NCAA kind of ruled it, and we don't have enough evidence to really smack down on them. So that was a sigh of relief. But again, excited for college football here and excited to talk more NFL. But we appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Hopefully you enjoy your weekend. Ethan, do you have anything to touch on? I saw you smirking over there.
I was just reading Asker's comment. So it's not consensual. It's just you and me, bro. We're one now. It's consensual.
Oh, good God, Asker. We appreciate you hopping on. It's been a while. But yeah, we're going to be doing lives more here. Hopefully we'll be getting you guys better predictions for games that actually matter. And again, we're so close to the start of football season, but we appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Peace, guys.
See you guys.